Hi, I'm your host, Kimberly Thomas-Tagg, and you're listening to Signalize, a Dazzle for Rare podcast. Whether you're a patient, advocate, caregiver, or a clinician, Signalize is your source for good news, personal stories, events, and the things that rare and associated communities care about. Follow Signalize and Dazzle for Rare at DAZZLE, 4, RARE on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, where we'll post episode links, updates, and more. In December, I was surprised. I thought we'd have a lot more dates for your diary, but we don't. As of recording, we only have one date. I've posted on our socials asking folks to share any awareness events that we may be missing for the Dazzle for Rare International Awareness Days calendar, and asking for folks to share those either in our WhatsApp channel, let us know on social media, send me an email at kimberly@dazzleforrare.net to let us know what we're missing. We did get a response on our WhatsApp channel from Dr. Eleonora Passieri, who you may know from Rare Special Powers, and she shared with us this date, which is coming up on the 12th of December. We have International Universal Health Coverage Day, or UHC Day, on the 12th of December. And this date aims to advocate for universal health coverage, the idea that everyone should have access to quality and affordable health care. Endorsed by the United Nations, UHC Day emphasizes the need for resilient health systems, especially highlighted by the COVID-19 pandemic's impact. Despite progress, half of the world's population still lacks essential health services, with many folks facing financial hardship due to healthcare costs. I know that one as well as probably many of you do as well. The UHC Day calls for global action to ensure health security for all, aligning with the Sustainable Development Goals and prioritizing equity and non-discrimination in healthcare access. We will drop a link in the show notes so you can check out the UN.org page on UHC Day. As the holiday season is upon us, with Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Christmas, and other traditions around the corner, we wish everyone a joyous and happy festive season, regardless of how you may celebrate it, or if you do at all. We are wishing you the best possible December. In today's episode, we'll be highlighting some important dates, actually one important date for December, and sharing inspiring stories of children battling rare conditions who are experiencing newfound joy this holiday season. So hopefully you will put your feet up, have a nice warm drink, and enjoy this brief episode, Early December Signalize, a Dazzle for a podcast. And one thing that I say in the intro to this podcast is that I love sharing good news. So I've got good news stories for you, which will hopefully give you some warm, fuzzy feelings to get you through until our next episode, just around Christmas time. Now, whether you celebrate Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, or have some other tradition that takes place in the winter about this time of year, or whether you don't at all, I hope that these stories will kind of brighten up your day as days are getting shorter and nights are getting longer. We're talking about stories about kids with rare conditions receiving holiday miracles around the world. The first story we have is 7-year-old Emma from Pennsylvania, a young Dravet syndrome patient. She now has the ability to experience the festive season thanks to a new medication. For those not familiar with Dravet syndrome, it is an epilepsy-causing genetic condition. Kids with Dravet syndrome, they typically experience developmental delays, issues with movement and balance, and sometimes have difficulties with speech and language. Kids with Dravet syndrome may also have a higher likelihood of SUDEP, sudden unexplained death in epilepsy. The majority of cases of Dravet syndrome are caused by a mutation in the SCN1A gene. Emma had her first seizure at 4 months old and faced developmental delays. According to a CBS News article, she's showing significant improvement with this new treatment. Her mother, Nicole, is now seeing Emma enjoy Christmas with increased awareness of her surroundings. The family remains hopeful that ongoing research will lead to better treatments and outcome for people with Dravet syndrome. We'll drop a link in the show notes so you can read the full article yourself. The next story is about 6-year-old George from the UK. George was born with a rare lung condition called lung surfactant deficiency, which is likely caused by a fault in the ABCA3 gene. I know that gene sounds made up. A lot of them sound like alphabet soup, really, but this is a real gene, real story. For those curious, according to the NIH, ABCA3 is a type of protein that helps move various substances, including fats, across the membranes of the cells. Recent discoveries have shown that changes or errors or mutations in that gene that makes the ABCA3 protein, can lead to serious issues in newborn babies. These issues involve a deficiency of surfactant, a substance crucial for the lungs to function properly, and this can be life-threatening. This condition, causing severe breathing issues, typically has a high mortality rate without transplant. However, George has seen an improvement in his health. Research funded by Action Medical Network and LifeArc is exploring gene therapy as a treatment to deliver a working replacement gene to the lungs, which may enable normal lung surfactant production. George is able to attend public school as he continues to receive regular medical care. His family actively advocates for research and supports initiatives for gene therapy development for kids like George. You can read the full article from the show notes. UK teen Poppy has re-released a tribute single called When You Were With Me in memory of her two cousins, Ellie Mae and Caleb, who passed away from Batten disease. For folks not familiar, Batten disease is a rare inherited disorder of the nervous system, typically discovered in early childhood. Sadly, Batten disease often leads to a shortened lifespan, as many children do not see adulthood. The song, originally released in 2022, reaching number 6 on the UK official physical singles chart, I didn't know that was a thing, physical singles chart, aims to raise awareness for Batten disease. Poppy hopes the song will contribute to increased awareness and support for finding a cure. If you would like to support Poppy's efforts, the song is available at beyondrecords.uk and supports the Batten Disease Family Association. We'll drop a link in the show notes to the full article so you can read for yourself, and we'll also link to Beyond Records. Final story, also involving children. Stars align for a cure for kids. Happy Christmas challenge to support children with cancer and rare conditions. Cure for the Kids Foundation, a pediatric cancer and rare disease treatment center in Southern Nevada, has launched the Happy Xmas Video Shoutout Challenge to bring holiday cheer to kids with cancer and rare diseases. Celebrities like Gwen Stefani and magician Chris Angel, that's a name from the past, Chris Angel, to name a few, are participating by creating special video messages. The challenge coincides with the digital album Christmas for the Kids, featuring a new version of Happy Xmas and other holiday tracks, with all streaming proceeds going to the children battling cancer and rare diseases in Southern Nevada. Participants can join the challenge by recording their own messages and tagging Cure for the Kids Foundation on social media, and we will drop a link to that full story also in the show notes so you can read about it yourself and get involved if you'd like. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Signalize, a Dazzle for Rare podcast. To stay up to date on the podcast and Dazzle for Rare, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at DAZZLE, the number 4, Rare, R-A-R-E. And finally, if you liked this episode, share it with a friend and tag us on social media platforms.